He would have started his senior year in high school. A highly recruited basketball player, one of the best in the state of Florida. All the girls liked him, but he had a strong thing going for our next-door neighbor, Jada. Her brother, Myrick, was my good friend. York, Yancey, and Yasmin, the triplets. People always asked, what are the triplets up to? How are the triplets doing in school? I hated being referred to as if we didn't have names and different personalities. All of us are unique. But one thing we had in common was that we all looked up to Jeff. I had no clue how we'd survive without him. I hadn't shed a tear during this whole chaotic week. My mom cried enough for all of us. York had become so angry that he was just looking for a way to relieve the craziness. Yancey was withdrawn and walked around in a daze. Was I supposed to be the one to keep us all together? How could I? I was only a mere 13-year-old, headed to the 8th grade. I wasn't anywhere close to being an adult. What did I know about how to make things right? We hardly ever went to church, but my grandma, or Big Mama as my brothers and I called her, had taught us that we should pray and have faith, no matter how bad things looked. I wanted to believe deep down in my heart that God could make this not hurt so badly. But why wasn't he making this all better? Why couldn't I wake up from this nightmare? I had no answers, just tons of questions. I placed my severely aching head between my wobbly knees and finally released all my tears that I'd been holding back. And I prayed, Lord, please help my family. We don't know what to do or how to keep going. I want to believe the verse that Big Mama taught me about you, which says for me to trust in you with my whole heart and not lean to what I don't understand. But it's so hard to trust when it looks so bad, God. Just then, I heard a familiar voice. It was Myrick. Most people call me a tomboy because I would hang out with my 3 brothers a lot. I usually play with the neighborhood boys, too, but all summer I hadn't run with them like I used to. Actually, Myrick hadn't been playing with York and Yancey as much either. He was a great basketball player like Jeff, and the 2 of them had been on the court most of the summer. I knew he would miss my brother as much as we would. Yasmin, I just came out here to sit with you. Thanks, I said as I wiped my face. He continued, I really don't know what to say, but my dad says that you don't always have to find words to say when something bad happens. Sometimes you can help people by just being with them. I guess that's true, Myrick, because I do feel better, I said, thinking about how I was praying when he came onto the porch. Cool, he said. For the next 30 minutes, we didn't say a thing. We were content just sitting in silence, occasionally looking at the sky. I used to not care that on the first day of school, I didn't have the latest clothes or sport the freshest hairdo. Going to school was all about learning, not trying to be fashionable. But as an 8th grader, somehow things had changed. Somewhere along the summer, the things that once didn't matter, now did. Besides, with all that I had going on, it didn't seem right that I was focusing on material things. We didn't even have money to bury my brother. My mother had reminded Yancey, York, and me about that over and over again. Getting new school clothes was totally out of the question. Actually, it was cool for boys to wear stuff a little roughed up, but when I looked around and saw all the girls looking fly, I hated me. My jeans that were purchased in the 6th grade and the hand-me-down tennis shoes that my brothers used to sport were a mess. Also, the braids I got before school let out last May was still in my head. I didn't look cute, and I didn't feel cute. In fact, everybody that looked at me with their disapproving expressions let me know that I was not cute. I can't believe she's coming on the first day of school looking like that, a popular girl named Perlicia said to her girlfriend Asia. I know, they live in Jefferson Projects, but even if she went to the dollar store...